the sheriffs that in 555 West Harrison, my. I got some stories of you guys. Some of you guys are on drugs. Wowee. I know your names and I know where you got your drugs. So if you did drugs then, you're still doing drugs right now. At Crook County Sheriffs, on drugs. But that's the way it is. You're humans. But you guys are sheriffs who got guns and everything. I think that's wrong, but who am I to say anything? And then another one is, remember I said I'll have stories of all kinds of extortion and everything. One story is one guy witnessed a murder in Bridgeview several years back. One lady police sheriff, I don't know what she was, sheriff must have had something on the neck of a white person on the floor, and the rest of the sheriffs were beating the shit out of him. They killed him. They left him there for hours, walked away. They killed a person. The sheriffs killed him in the jail, and then they walked away, left him there for hours. I don't know what the story was then, but I think I heard something that they went to trial, and they were all found innocent or some, who knows what. But the judge, I'm not sure, the judge that did that stepped down, and now I hear he's helping his son and making lots of money on murder cases, getting everybody off. Everything is for sale here. It is a sad thing. For sale. Oh my gosh. Other stories of people being, I don't know if they're probation officers or sheriffs, asking for guns, to buy guns from people on the streets. Why would you want guns? I don't know why. But, I got all the people names and everything. I mean, just in case I needed anything. And the first one was where the guy said he would sell dope to these cops. He was right, because I thought he was lying at first, but when we got in there, and then we got into the cells, there were certain cops that were there. They took him out of his cell and put him in a different cell, probably to see if they could buy some dope. Guys, I have names and everything, and I'm not the only one that has it. When I find this stuff out, I pass it on to other people, so you guys will never know how many people know all this. This is terrible. What's happening in jail is a horrible thing. But that's the way it goes, and these judges know it, and they have to do it. Because what I hear is, when any inmate is in there, I think the state gives them $200 or something a day. And the food, it only costs like $3 to feed us a day. So, I mean, because it's slop. It's horrible. I mean, I would rather live... if I were going to jail, send me to the zoo, because I think I would be treated more humanely. I mean, in the zoo or something, when an animal dies, you have all kinds of animal rights groups in the zoo. There's a lot of people getting sick in this Crook County jail. There is no human rights people for them. But you got plenty of rights people for animals. It's kind of screwed up. We even asked, before court, I was looking for some help from the Thomas More Society. We talked to some guy named Tim. Okay, the Thomas More Society, they help people who are protesting like abortion stuff and all that. So they're trying to, this society helps people that are not even born. But the people that are born, they're not going to help us. You're screwed. But if you're unborn, we want to bring you in this, we want to make sure that you live in this shitty environment where it's all corrupt. But if you're already born, we can't help you. Once I told him about my thing, the guy says, well, stop doing your YouTube and your website. I said, what are you talking about? I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm just telling you the truth. But I guess most people don't like the truth. They like lies. There's a lot more stories. It's just this is what they had us at the jail when I was working at the kitchen. This. And then this. And then when we go to the washroom, we'd have to go to the washroom and, do number 1 or number 2. We go into the washroom. It's horrible. If you do number 2 or number 1, there is no soap. So you go back in the line. You wear some plastic gloves, but they rip. So There's feces in the inmate's food. But does Aramark care about that? Hell no. Rat droppings? I killed a mouse there one day, and I almost got into a fight with another inmate because of killing a mouse. Yes, I got all that written down. And they got cameras down there. The camera would catch everything. Or not unless those cameras there just for show. Everything's there. They record everything. But you know what? Aramark, you guys are rotten people. You guys are bad people. Bad. Because we're not all crooks. We're human beings. All of us. There's too many stories to be told. And if anybody else sees this that's been in jail, email us something, because this is wrong. I mean, I was there with one 17-year-old kid, a little 17-year-old kid. He's with adults, 17-year-old, and he had a problem, medical problem, and he's still there. And then there was one man, he was 67 years old. He was there for a DUI. I'm not saying that's wrong. That's right with DUIs. I mean, everybody drinks and drives, but even judges drink and drive. But they're sending too many people in jail for the wrong thing. A lot of people in jail for the wrong things. They're sending them for driving on suspended license. I mean, you got tons of people. You got mostly minorities, and then a lot of people lose their money there. They take their money, and a lot of it disappears because there's a lot of bad sheriffs in there that take money. And usually immigrants. They'll take it away from the immigrants. I got stories of that, and even other stories of people. I mean, they were doing wrong. One guy said, yeah, he was doing wrong. He got caught, and he had a lot of money at home and a gun, and they went to his house, took his money and his gun. They didn't report it. Well, that's a lot of money. $39,000. $39,000 they took from one of these. I think it was maybe the DEA. $39,000 is a lot of money. That's just one person. And then another guy, he got caught with $10 of cocaine. I don't know if it was his or not. They sent him back to Mexico. He had a family here and everything, but they don't care. They don't care. ICE is there every day. ICE, you don't belong here, ICE. Let me give you a little story of ICE, how this country was brought. Last Monday we had Christopher Columbus Day. Christopher Columbus discovered America. Christopher Columbus he came in some ships. They called the Nina, Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Those are Spanish ships. They're not the Kellys, the Fitzgeralds, the Bushes. That was Spanish money that brought Christopher Columbus here. So technically, this should be Spanish territory, but it's not. I mean, and the Mayas, the Incas, and the indigenous people were here already thousands of years. We have that blood, but we made fun of people of countries that built walls, fences, and they tore them down, and we all put the media, yeah, that's good. But now we're doing the same. We're building a wall down south, and even Bush said one time, because some of these people have had that land even since the Spanish gave it to them. Well, we'll go to the courts and take it away from them to build that wall. Even Bush knows that how the courts. He controls the courts. The Dailies, the Bushes, horrible people. But you know what? When they meet God, they're going to find out what the reality, what they did to all these people. It's rotten. I just wish there's a lot I can say. I can go on forever. I went to pick up a friend of mine at jail the other day, and I was standing on the sidewalk, and the sheriff says, you can't, you got to go across the street. I told the guy, I said, wait a minute, this is a public sidewalk. I can be anywhere I want. No, you got to go across the street. Most of these sheriffs are ignorant of the law, of the Constitution, but Mr. Dart, you want them like that because they're your patronage army. This is a bad, bad, bad world. Bad. And I pray for you guys to change your ways, because it's terrible. God bless you guys.